Everything's set up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Party Nation, the show. I'm only on time if I'm hosting. How's it going, everybody? What's going on? What's happening?
Hi.
Hello, Mr. Chainsaw Reacts. How's it going?
Oh,
Popping in here
shit.
I love
right
being
on
on
the
woke.
nick of
I love
time.
being on Woke Nation. Love it.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The future is now.
Yeah, nothing's different this week. Everything looks the
No.
same as it is every single episode. Nothing
How you
new,
doing, Lance?
nothing. I am good. I'm good. I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling
How's your four kids?
well, I sold them. No, I was kidding.
You know, I could say that sounds a little racist, but you're not Jake, so we'll let it fly.
Yeah, 100%. Let's go down the lineup. Oh God! Obviously, elephant in the room first. Lance is doing holiday stuff this week. He couldn't be here. I will be your host once again. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. We're joined by Mr. Three Dubs. How's it going, Three Dubs?
Doing good.
Taj Reacts back at it again.
Hello.
The reaction of chainsaws is here as well.
Fake.
And Ronan Unchained. I assume once he was chained, but now he's unchained, so that's interesting. I wonder what the timeline there was.
It's a multiverse crap. I'm still figuring it out.
Ooh.
Very fun. Very fun. I feel like it's been a fun week for like pop culture stuff. I feel like the week started out there wasn't a lot of fun things, but then like the last couple of days it's been a lot of rumors, a lot of speculations, a lot of castings, a lot of fun things to come out the last couple of days. So it's gonna be a fun show ahead, ladies and gentlemen. What's everyone been up to this week?
Working.
Working.
Today. Working sucked. Yeah. But yeah, today there's a lot of stuff that dropped today. So it was like it was kind of yesterday was weird, obviously, because it was a holiday, but also like it didn't feel like a Monday. But then today it's like, oh crap, it's a week. Boom, 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 boom. News, trailers. So
Yeah, it's that like fun time of the year where everyone's putting out their trailers for either their summer blockbusters that are getting second or third trailers, or the back half of the year we're going to start getting trailers, things for September, October, November, December over these next couple months, which is going to be really fun.
100%.
It's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Run. I'm sorry.
I just haven't been having a blast because I'm trying to watch the NBA conference finals as much as I can, and then once in a while they'll throw in a little FF like TV spots that are like alternate takes. I think from stuff they shot, and I'm having a blast with those. Those are fun, and they give me more confidence about the team's dynamics and the actors' chemistry. So I'm like, all right, let's see what they got.
The basketball team?
No, the FF.
That was a bad joke. That was a bad dad joke, man. That was bad.
Oh, Darren. I just woke up, man. Come on.
Yeah, man. You just woke up? Come on, man. It's only 3:00 where you're at. What the hell?
I'm turning into a vampire.
Oh shit, Bela Lugosi, what's up, man?
It's too early for this shit.
Yeah, are you doing Van Helsing 2, Electric Boogaloo? What's going on with that?
Oh shit!
That's what I want.
NDA.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's look at some comments here really quickly.
No.
Okay. Well, screw you guys then. Chainsaw said so. Sorry, guys.
Ignore me. Come on now.
Dalton said, "What up, party people? Those Harry Potter kids are cooked." Yes,
they've already been getting hate, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, they deserve it. Fuck them kids. Kidding.
Wait, what happened?
Well, as soon as the announcement came, man, immediately Hermione's not white.
Oh no!
All right. It's like that's the only thing they can really complain about because Harry looks exactly like you would expect Harry to look like. Same with Ron, right? But they're like, she doesn't look like Hermione. All right, cool. You know, she was on like basically a kid version of Broadway. She's got talent, but okay, she doesn't like Hermione, so fuck this show. Gotcha.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not a professional like director or like casting director, but I look at her right now. That energy she's spilling
I
out
see it
and
already.
saying,
Yeah.
"I run this joint, and I'm the what's that line in the movies? I am the strongest or the wisest witch of it." It's just like I could see that smile and smirk. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a blast at Hogwarts. I got a lot of shit and like spells to throw out. I don't know, like
Oh, she's gonna backhand Ron. Scene 1. Get out of here, boy. Yeah.
Wingardium Leviosa, whatever the fuck they
She's
say.
gonna pull out a machine gun and start firing at Ron. And shut up, boy.
Look, that looks. I can't imagine for the hardcore fans, but like,
We
it's
haven't seen anything yet. That's
exactly, exactly. And I'm like, come on now, like,
Mm.
the issue. Like, fuck, give them a chance.
Yeah, they haven't started shooting yet. We don't know nothing.
yeah,
Whatever, you know.
And this
Plus-
could be good because the movies missed a lot from the books too. So
Yeah, they
Yeah.
cut a lot out. If they do at least like 8 episodes per book per season, which is like one book, they're gonna cover a lot of crap. They're probably gonna even add stuff too we didn't even see originally, like that wasn't in the
Yeah.
books, which is probably I
Right.
think smart. Give us stuff we've never seen before in the books or movies. Like give us new stuff. Like
Mhm.
sure,
yeah,
because there's probably a lot of stuff happening in that school because they cover a whole year of Hogwarts every book. So like they I mean I think it was like the first movie they bypassed like 4 or 5 6 months at times.
Yeah.
They're just bypassing a lot. Like there's a lot of stuff that had been happening. You know, so yeah, that's fine.
Halfway through the movie, we get Christmas.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like I remember Hagrid dragging the tree. Like they bypassed a lot of stuff.
Mm,
So yeah, and let them do like original stuff. Let them
Right.
try something. You know, because the movies already did it. The show needs to do something different.
yeah,
agreed. Yeah, and like I think this project's very interesting because obviously there's a lot of controversy for several reasons, right? Like some of it's valid, you know, some of it people just not wanting to reboot Harry Potter, which I think is a valid take. I understand, you know, it's such a beloved film. Some of it is like the J.K. Rowling stuff, but I feel like in terms of this casting, like I think if you're looking at this casting on a casting level alone and you're angry, you're finding anger out of this, I think you need to re-examine your life. I think you have to find out what your priorities are, and if this is something that's getting your grill, re-examine who you are and what your morals are, because I think that's ridiculous.
yeah. I
100%.
wonder if people actually think that the actors of these shows and movies and actresses that they're the only ones that make it. That they film it, they light it, they shoot it, and the edit. It's like, no,
No.
doesn't work like that. Just like, god damn it.
Mhm.
Yeah, happy for them. Please, Warner Brothers, HBO, do a good job of taking care of them. And if you don't, we all will be on your asses in terms of like, yo, it's 2025. Let's fucking do better.
Yeah.
Were y'all surprised at like the amount of people they actually saw? Like they saw over 30,000 different people for these roles. Like
That doesn't surprise me.
Surprised.
No.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
Like,
lot of kids.
The
A lot of chemistry testing too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this was the best that they could do. I mean, it wasn't like they casted like and started it 2 days ago. They've been doing this for months.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like this has been in the works for years now. Like at least what, a year and a half. Or
Well, yeah, it's
so
been
since they've
development, but I'm pretty
announced
sure they were looking for kids for at least since early this year. So they've been doing this for a while. And just finding who, because they got to hold their own with their own character, and they have a lot of scenes together as a trio,
it. Right.
Yeah.
and they're going to grow up in these roles. Like, I don't see them recasting any of these. They could recast secondary characters if need be, but these actors are not going to leave the role. So, this
Yeah,
is it.
like that is kind of interesting to think about though, because I don't know if there's ever been something on this scale in terms of casting. Like you are casting for an iconic character of this side, arguably 3 of the most iconic fictional characters of all time, and it isn't just for a movie, right? If this is like a Batman movie or Superman movie, hypothetically, you could recast again in a couple years and do a reboot, right? Do like Spider-Man style. They are committing to what is it? 9 books, right? 7 seasons.
But it could be more, yeah, because they split the last book in 2, which realistically, once you get to Goblet of Fire 4, 5, 6, and 7, they're such big books.
Right.
They could realistically do an
They
HBO,
split.
like Last of Us, they could split those seasons up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this will be a better part of a decade of television moving forward. Like this will be a staple for HBO, for Warner Brothers, for just entertainment of the, as a group of people that talk about news a lot, we're going to be talking about the show for, I assume, a very, very long time over these next couple of years. I think that starts now, and it's interesting to see like almost history being made like in the moment. Like, like we weren't really analyzing this stuff when the original cast was cast in, all the way back in the early 2000s. So it's like, whoa, okay, it's interesting to see that.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Came in late, so
hello, Omega.
Levy,
What's your thoughts on this?
Omega.
Not sure what. I was never really a big Harry Potter fan, and so I kind of just came in late into this discussion. Let me guess. They're probably complaining that the girl playing Hermione isn't a redhead ginger, right?
100%
about that.
100%.
Yeah. But I mean, I know Riley said a bunch of crazy stuff in the past, but didn't she pretty much say that she didn't specifically mention Hermione's ethnicity? Just said she was a dark-haired girl.
Yes,
I mean, so
a lot of it could be up to interpretation.
Yeah.
I mean, Weasley specifically was ginger. We know that.
Yeah.
And like, of course, Harry. I don't know if they actually did specifically give a description of that magnitude to Hermione. Right?
Yeah, I just remember she was saying that she was just like a dark-haired girl who's like had very dark features. So I was like, she's probably either mixed race or Latina.
Right?
Yeah,
That
I
was my
mean, and Hermione was like at starting out a dark brown, and then I think as the movie went along,
Yeah, it didn't make her redhead. Yeah.
yeah, she like it wore like a lighter color over time. So realistically, we could go further along, and that could happen to this actress too. Because this is going to go on for a very long time. Who knows what they're going to do? Because they could have a situation where maybe in this version of the story, Hermione goes through a traumatic event that maybe was never in the books, and they do it in the show, and she looks different moving forward. Who knows, right? We don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's like I was never. I actually might try to watch this because I was at my parents' house for Thanksgiving one day. They had, I think, Goblet of Fire on. I was like, wow, this movie is actually pretty dang good. I probably should have watched these. I mean, it's just when Harry Potter first came out, I was like 19, 20-ish.
Have you
so I was like, it's not for me. I've seen bits and pieces of some of them.
Yeah, I say, give them all a chance. It's worth your time for sure. Yeah.
I would say like there is a tone shift between the second one and the third one. Like you feel different.
Okay.
Like it becomes darker.
Well, yeah, it's a different director.
I have
so.
I have a lot of friends who are trans and play Dungeon Master. A lot of other people that I play D&D with are trans, so I don't want them to judge me. They wouldn't care, honestly. No, but still, though, I mean, I know she said some fuck shit in the past, but I ain't gonna hold that to the people, the actors in the movie. I ain't gonna hold that against them. Just her.
Yeah, you can separate her away from the movies.
Yeah.
It's
same the game. It was like the game was actually pretty decent.
That's the thing. She's gonna she had to sign off on this. She's making hand over fist money with the park Wizarding World.
Oh yeah.
So in the game, like she made money on the Harry Potter game that came out. I
heard the game was actually fairly decent, so I ain't gonna hold that against the developers.
Yeah, and they made a point like to say up front that she had no involvement besides signing off and agreeing to it.
Yeah, like we're using her fictional universe. Of course, she's gonna have to sign off.
Yeah.
So
and I think she's an executive producer just by name. I don't think she has like a major involvement. But at the end of the day, faulting one person who, of course, created the universe, faulting and saying I'm not going to be watching or supporting this based off of one person when there's thousands of people in total. When you look at all of the production crews, editing, all of that, and the actors and all the background actors, just because of one person, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Some messed up stuff
That's
was
kind
said.
of how I am with
Yeah.
with the H.P. Lovecraft and the Cthulhu mythos.
Yeah.
Love his work. It's racist. Look up his cat's name.
It really boils down to a larger
His cat's
conversation
name,
of
yeah.
separating the art from the artist, right?
Mm.
Like that's the thing. Because J.K. Rowling writing the Harry Potter novels was probably a different person than she is today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're definitely not the same. And the world has shifted since those books came
Yeah.
out. So
And I was just going to say I kind of feel bad about for the kid actors and everything for the about the shit they're probably going to get from
already
Yeah.
started.
woke,
Already.
Yeah.
oh god, yeah, from
Already.
the woke side and the anti-woke side, they're going to get.
It's super woke. Everything.
I hope when they signed on, they're like, "Hey, no social medias for you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I mean, Twitter ain't working anyway, so who cares?
Just be
Yeah,
kids.
just
you
just
don't
stay off
need it.
social media.
Yeah,
Mhm.
let your parents handle all of that shit. Leave that alone.
Mhm.
But also
Yeah.
imagine as parents, right? Like
Yeah.
imagine your kid gets casted as one of the
Yeah.
one of the most popular characters in the world. You are the proudest that you will probably ever be.
Yeah, and your kids having the time of their life acting.
That
in
is
this.
an accomplishment. And
Yeah.
you go online and you see this shit. You see the
grown
most
ass men our age is
rancid-
raging out against this shit. Like, God,
Because-
damn.
Because they're not the
Yeah.
original cast. They're not what was
Mhm.
intended from the books. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Because what's really going to happen is when this show drops, it's going to be one of the biggest, successes of HBO's history. Max
Oh,
is going to
yeah.
see huge responses. It's not going to
Mhm.
matter what these people are saying online now. It ain't going to matter. The biggest question, really, besides the casting, is how fast are they going to be shooting this show? These
Yeah.
kids are going to grow up quick.
Yeah.
So they're not, because
They're
with a
gonna run
lot of
into the
streaming
Percy
shows, we
Jackson
know
problem.
it takes roughly 2 years in between seasons to get the next one,
Yeah.
maybe longer. They got to be
Yeah,
shooting this stuff yearly,
back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
100%. Like they need to shoot season 1 and season 2 realistically back to back,
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least.
That's why
I
they bring
would
Percy
love-
Jackson, because the Percy Jackson cast is like
Yeah.
aging
they're
Because
fast
Lawson
as
older.
hell.
Scoville's a grown ass
So
man
they-
right now. He has
yeah, I'm
kids
like,
already.
you could tell through season 1. It was like he started off as a kid, then by the end, you're like, the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the Avatar show on Netflix, and the
They're
kid that
already
plays
getting
Aang,
older.
dude's
Oh,
like
yeah.
five,
Yeah.
dude's like 5'10" already.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
when they
he's
showed
tall
like
as
they
hell.
wrapped season 2 and they're shooting season 3. The kid who plays Aang is almost as tall as the rest of the cast when he was short as
Yeah.
hell in
Yeah.
season 1. Yeah, it's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh,
And I
well.
think there's
Also,
Oh.
random comment, but because of seeing that cast photo, I just thought of Emma Watson. I thought of fucking This Is the End and what she goes through in that movie. And I just love at the end of all that bullshit. Fucking Dan McBride goes, Hermione just stole all our shit.
Well, this Hermione might steal all their shit.
Yeah.
Just go beat the crap out of everybody. That's exciting, man. That's cool. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
It's
Happy
gonna
for
be.
them.
It's gonna be. That trailer. That first trailer is gonna be the big like. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think I forget who said it here, but like I think you bring up a good point. I think this has the potential to be the modern day Game of Thrones, right? Because I
yeah.
think like since Game of Thrones has ended, there hasn't been a big TV show to rival that in terms of popularity, in terms of everybody is watching it. The only thing that's semi-close is Stranger Things. But I don't think that counts because it's a binge show. Everyone's watching it in 2 days and then it's done.
Yep.
If this is weekly, if you're doing, let's just say 10 episodes a season. Let's just say that. Or like even 8. Imagine 8 episodes a season every single year for the next like 7 years. People are going to feel so nostalgic for this show, and I think they're going to keep coming back. I think you're going to have those things of people in like in those bars and people really rivaling around it. I think you could really show off the power of television, because I think what's so cool about those movies is that it does feel like you're growing up with that cast, or it's like you're going through that journey, because it's a year after year after year. And I think you guys are right. I think they need to replicate that. I think they need to get a season out every year to make that feel real, to make that feel tangible. Like you are growing up with them, even if you have to film. I wonder if they might try and film multiple seasons back to back. I wonder
They
if it'll
should.
just be like
They might.
Yeah.
like to a
They're
season. or
shooting
something.
this summer. Who knows how long it's going to take? I think they need to shoot through the summer through the winter, or at least summer through the end of the year, and then take a break, and then release potentially those episodes in the summer of 26, and then
Mm.
start shooting season 2 in the summer of 26, so that they're consistently releasing around that same window of time, and the kids are not growing up too fast. Because you got to give everybody a break, but I mean at the same time you got to get this stuff going.
Yeah.
So, well, I do have to head out. Dinner time for me, but I appreciate
Oh,
you guys having me on, and good luck, replacement Lance, at
Thank you.
hosting the show. And I'll talk to y'all later.
Have fun at
Bye.
Hogwarts.
Oh boy, yeah, I'm going to Hogwarts. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Adios.
yeah.
Yeah, we kind of
You
jumped
got a
in
point,
swinging
though,
with
man.
that one.
You definitely got to film these seasons, man. These kids I don't know what they be eating. I don't know what
Yeah.
they eat. They just big now. I'm like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
I
to
wonder
get
how
your, like,
old the cast is. Like, I didn't
Mm.
do any research, but they look
Me
young as
neither.
hell, though.
Yeah, they really do. I gotta say, like maybe 13, somewhere around 13, 14, maybe.
Like, yeah, like
How old is
shoot, I think
the?
they might be like 12.
Yeah, I was just about to say they're probably even 12.
How old are the characters?
The characters are supposed to be like 12 or something like that.
Yeah, I think.
Harry and them, yeah, they start off like 12. Jake might know. Jake, you know how old the characters start in Harry Potter? Ain't they like 12?
In year 1, they
Yeah.
start out as 11.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Yeah, then yeah. So they might be close to that age, the actors. Who knows?
What's up? How's everybody doing?
We're doing good.
Pretty
We're doing good. We're just talking about the Harry Potter casting.
Yeah.
Do you have thoughts on this casting, Jake? While we're still on the topic.
Well, I said this a little bit earlier, but obviously people watching this didn't see that. But just from the look, I like just the look of it. I think they have the look down. I haven't seen any of these three in anything, so I won't pretend to have a reference point for that when I don't. But just going off the look, I think they definitely have the look of these three down. I will say, keep these kids off the internet, please.
Yeah.
Please,
Just
for the love
saying
of
that.
God, keep them off the internet because we don't need a Jake Lloyd situation again.
Yeah.
And
Oh God.
it makes you wonder too, like how fast are they going to shoot these things? Because granted, with the movies, like they did 8 movies in 10 years, and
Right.
the cast were playing people that were 17 in the last movie. They were all roughly like 21 or 22 when the filming ended.
Right.
But they're going to be filming a lot more because obviously you're doing seasons of TV.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I think it's good because for anybody who's read the books, they had to cut a lot out of the books to be able to fit within a movie's runtime. So
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
they're actually going to be able to fit all of the story beats within these now. And granted, some seasons are probably going to be longer, but 1, 2, and probably even 3 could probably be done in like 10 to 12 episodes.
Right.
Later seasons will either probably get longer, or they might split one story into 2 seasons, kind of like what they're doing with Last of Us. They might split it into multiple.
Right.
But just from the way this looks, I don't have any complaints so far. But just keep these guys off the internet, please.
100%.
That's exactly what we were saying.
And like you also have to take into consideration filming. Let me reword this. When you're doing movies and TV with children, there are different laws in place too. Whereas like you
Good
couldn't.
call on rewording that.
Yes. Like you can't. You can't maybe film as fast if they were like your 20-year-old actors. These are kids.
Right.
They have to go to school. They have to obviously they're still children, so they shouldn't be having to work as much as your adult would.
Yeah, there's a whole different set of regulations when it comes to them.
100%. Cameron coming up in here with a super chat. I bet Lance appreciates it. Since I'm hosting, do I get the money? That doesn't seem quite fair to me, but oh well. I have a problem with the Snape casting because the show would have to change the whole outline of Snape being bullied. I've heard this criticism a lot, and as someone who doesn't know the movies or books that well, does anyone have a perspective on this that they would like to bring up?
Oh, I mean, I was just reading one of the books earlier today, just to kind of get reinvigorated into this, and I get where the pessimism comes from, because Harry's dad in the younger days was just an absolute dick for no reason, and he toyed and tormented with Snape left and right, just being an ass because he could. And the fact that they have Snape being played by a black man, and if they show him in the younger flashback days being played by another black actor, that could potentially have a bad outlook in the eyes of certain people.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to find a way to write around that. They very much could, like if they made it to where. So granted, the books kind of did this, the movies really didn't. They showed that Snape was obsessed with the dark arts at a young age. And James Potter, for all his faults and unlikable characteristics, he absolutely detested the dark arts. So to maybe to be a little bit more, for lack of a better word, safe, I guess, by adapting the story beats, maybe show a little bit more of that investment in the dark arts at a young age, so it doesn't come off the wrong way.
Sure.
Just throwing an idea out.
Oh, I was just thinking. Once again, I know very little of this, so like, what's the issue with the Snape casting? Oh, it's a black dude. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Again, was it, in the books? Did they really? Was it like a thing for like on his ethnicity or anything like that, or was it kind of just ambivalent? Or
well, they always described him being hook-nosed and sallow-skinned. That was something that was pretty much Snape's introductory description for the first like 3 or 4 books. But you can still have those skin traits without having white be your skin color. So that doesn't eliminate those features. I'm trying to say this in the best way I can, because I know it can be taken out of context.
Yeah, because I know some of the, I know all of the, anti-woke chuds are going to be Koreans. I just hate all of that.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I was just looking at it. I mean, he seems fine. I mean, it's just like he's not Alan Rickman, and Alan Rickman is a great actor, so it's kind of like he's going up against that.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with the casting on its own. Like, if he gives a great performance and, gives the same sort of beats of what we got as Snape before, but can, add his own thing to make it his own, to where, not his own to the point where he's making it his own thing, but make it, the version of Snape that they're telling that isn't just trying to be, a copy and paste of Alan Rickman. That's what I fear with a lot of these characters.
Yeah.
That they're just going to be, well, this is just a copy and paste of insert actor here. It's like, well, it's not like they can use those actors again, because a number of them aren't here anymore. So
didn't Alan and Rickman pass like a couple years back?
Yeah,
that was almost a decade back.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Next year, actually, this upcoming January will be 10 years.
Wow.
I didn't know that long ago. Jeez. But this is a book adaptation, so I'm like, it could be pretty much anyone. It could be whoever your imagination came up with when they described the character. So it's detailed as as they describe in the book. It could be literally anybody.
Yeah. The first time they casted it, like they were at the advantage there, obviously, because there was nothing to compare it against. But it can just be done in that same way. As again, like what. Like word casting actors who fit these book descriptions of what our mind comes up with, and different directors and showrunners and writers are going to have different imaginations, which is like the beauty of all this.
Yeah, that's why as long as they fit the description that smashes in a book, I don't care.
Yeah. And then even then, like I'm always up for at least a little bit of creative liberty.
Yeah, it's going to be different from the books.
Yeah, like as long as it doesn't portray betray, let me say, who those characters are at their core, that I'm like, I don't care too much. Like, I think the whole like Little Mermaid situation was one I really defended, because like I think that actress did a phenomenal job portraying that character. People are like, yo, yeah, but she's black now. It's like, yeah, but has
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
to do with who that character was. She did a fantastic job. Actually, I'd argue I almost like her more than the original. Like, I think she killed that role. So, Tony talks about the upcoming Power Ranger casting, Taj, and I think the difference is that will most likely not be a recast, right? It's going to be just a new.
Yeah.
I assume a new cast of characters. I
This will be a
don't
new
think.
cast.
That'll just be a new generation, won't it?
Yeah, like it's not going to be Jason and Tommy and Kimberly and Billy.
Right.
Most likely not. But
It'll be new characters, new names, new setting.
I don't remember what were the reactions back in like 2017 or like 2015 when they announced that cast. Was that pretty crazy or no?
I can't remember. I just remember everybody hating on the movie.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
there
I
was,
think
like,
it left until later.
I think there was controversy with Billy though.
Yeah, because he was black.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
He
so
was the
good.
best fucking Ranger.
He was the best part of that damn movie.
Yep.
But didn't they even with the original Rangers, wasn't I forget his name, the Black Ranger supposed to be originally supposed to be the Blue Ranger, but he was like, nah, this Black Ranger actually fits my style more. Because I remember him saying that.
Yeah,
He was
he was
originally
like,
supposed to be the Blue Ranger.
Yes.
Yeah, he was up for the
Was
Blue
he?
Ranger, but then was like,
Yeah.
the Black Ranger fits my style more. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're gonna be hopping into another story here. Jake's favorite show of all time, Peacemaker. Peacemaker. They
Yeah, sure.
recently came out and said Peacemaker's second season. I can't read the thing over the thing. Second season has teased multiple cameos, including a big end to the season character. So seemingly very similar to last season, where we had big characters to kind of round out the season. We might be doing a similar thing here. Does anybody have a wish list, theory, speculation on who some of these cameos might be this season?
I think it's going to be Green Lantern.
Yeah, he got a movie coming up. Well, he's gonna be in one of the movies.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
I'm talking about the one from the show. I think John going to pop up.
John Stewart.
Oh,
Oh,
Aaron
I think he
Pierre
might
is
pop
John.
up. Mm-hmm. And probably like a Hawk Girl in them. Well, no, they in the trailer.
Right.
Never mind.
they're in the trailer. Yeah.
I was about to say never
her
mind. That's
and
how
Guy
they
are
spoiled
there.
shit.
That's why I was confused because you were talking about Green Lantern at first. I was like, he's
Oh, no,
already
no,
in
no,
there.
Yeah, I was like, he is.
Ugh.
I mean, Jake, I feel like I can throw out what we've already kind of talked about, like in previous streams, where it's like, I think it'd be really fun if Flash and Aquaman are in
That-
here, but like
yeah.
you're like your new casted Flash and Aquaman, just like have the same exact scene again, but it's these
Yeah.
new actors being like, oh, it was canon. It was
If
just
they
different.
even
What if it's
If-
Green Arrow?
if they even know who it's going to be at that point.
Be crazy if it's
Because I don't
Superman.
want to see Flash right now. I don't need to see Flash Aquaman. We just got them like a year or two ago. So it's like,
Yeah,
what
but
if they
those
do a
movies
Green
suck.
Arrow? Like, what if he? No, I get it. I
Aaron's
get
like,
it.
yeah,
But
but
I'm
they
saying,
suck.
I'm
I
just
don't
saying,
like those
bring in a new character, and it's like because it's more street level. So it's like, oh, you got this other guy over here,
Yeah.
and it's fucking Oliver Queen. He got daddy issues too.
Wasn't Peacemaker like shit talking Oliver last season?
Yeah.
Didn't he say something about that?
Yeah.
I forget.
So
And
if he show
then-
up and shoot him with an arrow, that'd be
And then-
hilarious.
And then Stephen Amell got butthurt and he goes, "Oh,
Oh,
I wasn't watching that. I was over here showing Cena how wrestling is supposed to be done on my show that no one's gonna watch."
And he was like, Stephen Amell was like really offended. He was like really pissed. I'm like, it was clearly it
Right.
wasn't aimed towards you, man.
Right.
You don't
It
own
wasn't
the
your Green Arrow.
Right.
Like get the fuck out of here.
It's like, guys, like you guys you guys held the reins on DC live action for like a decade. Like, slow your roll a little bit.
Right.
And
I know
that
who I want to see.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I say I know I want to see in Peacemaker as a cameo.
Okay,
Granny
go ahead.
Goodness. I
yeah.
want Apocalypse. No, I'm kidding. Bullshitting.
That's early as hell. If they did that, I'd be like, hell no.
Hey, Phil.
Phil.
Damn, I'm trying to.
No,
think who would be a good one.
They can have literally anyone because I freaking love Peacemaker. They could literally have anyone. They'll make it funny.
I'll throw this
I
out
say the
there.
more ridiculous, the better.
I'll throw this out there. This isn't a character that we've gotten like any sort of hints about yet. I know Ronan will like this. If this character gets like any sort of mention at all, they could pull a wild card and throw Vic Sage into there at the end. Vic Sage is the question for anybody who doesn't know.
Ooh, yeah.
No,
I know the
I knew
question,
it
I
was. That's
didn't
why I
know
was
the-
like,
Yes.
That's-
Yes.
Yeah, oh, it's the question. Okay.
I told you Ronan would like that.
with the
trying-
no face joint and everything,
Yep,
bro.
yep,
dog,
yep.
That would be so dope if they did that.
I'm just throwing it out there. Will they do it? Probably not. But if they do, I don't know. I want my fucking residual checks.
That'd be crazy if you pulled
That'd be
that.
so cool, though.
Darren,
Really?
and that's the thing. Like we call this shit on streams, man. We would just continue that tradition.
Oh my gosh! 100%.
Listen, you might be right. I called the Blade thing,
Yeah, and Darren and
and
I
I called
the
Doctor Doom.
well, so Darren and I called the Incredibles thing like 2 days before it happened.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
That was nuts. We're like, I'd like to see one, and then
and
instantly,
boom. Yep.
yeah. I won't ever forget. I've talked about this a lot, but like the stream we did on Chainsaw's channel for the Downey announcement haunts my soul because like previously, like 20 minutes earlier, I was like, have you heard that stupid ass theory that Downey's going to be playing Doom? It's so
Yeah.
freaking stupid. And then 20 minutes later, I'm like,
Yeah.
God fucking
God
damn
dang
it.
it.
and then Colonel is just paralyzed. He's like, "What?"
I was speechless. I think I said when it happened, I was like, no. Like, that's
Similar
so
stuff
funny.
happened when we were doing the Doomsday reveal cast.
Oh god. That
Yeah.
Like, we would
That
throw
was
a
so
name. be like,
fun.
What if they do Nightcrawler and then ... What the fuck? And then somebody commented, "How about Mystique?" Like, sure, we'll pick on the
Right,
range.
yeah.
And then she pops up right
This-
there in the chair, and I'm like, "What
Right.
the
and somebody
fuck?"
else was like, "Hey, what if they pull a wild card and bring Channing Tatum back?" Fucking chair pops up.
I think when we was live, I called Cyclops. I was like, yo, if they bring Cyclops
Yeah.
back, dog. And then like a few moments later, they pulled out a chair.
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck?
How funny would it have been because they did this for Ant-Man, like with the tiny chair. Whenever
Yeah.
you see the scroll by and they get to Patrick Stewart's name, how funny would it have been if instead of a normal chair, it's that giant ass yellow hover
Yeah.
chair from Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
That'd have been awesome.
I pitched for like Things chair, it just smashed. It's just a smashed chair.
Or maybe
Ugh.
like Joseph Quinn's chair, like set on fire or something.
It's burnt, it's grilled. Yeah.
It'd be
I
awesome.
was kind of like looking at some of like the upcoming projects just to be like, okay, is there any character that they could like set up, right? I know some people have been theorizing like a Booster Gold, which I guess isn't out of the question, but we haven't heard anything about that project, right?
They're speculating that
um,
as the cameo.
I've heard some people say maybe a Booster Gold, and I could maybe see it. Waller would make sense, but would that really be a cameo? That's more of just like
Yeah,
an
she-
appearance of a character that's in there
Yeah,
already.
Right.
Mm.
I mean, Waller was even mentioned in the last season, but she just wasn't on screen.
Right.
Mhm.
Hell, her daughter's working for him, so
She might be mentioned in Peacemaker season 2, and that's all we'll get right now. How's your mom? She's in jail or whatever.
yeah.
Right. Swamp Thing? Probably not, right?
I doubt it until James Mangold either has officially finished writing the shooting script or he's like locked in to work on the movie. I doubt they're gonna like allude to that. Like the most they'll say someone like, you think this, it's give me the Nick Fury thing. You think it's just all superheroes and stuff. You don't take into account the monsters that lurk in the dark or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they've said he's going to be doing that he's going to be doing that before his Star Wars project.
That's still up in the air, I think.
Like,
Because
I don't know
the
if they've
last
said-
thing I've heard of him was that he had locked a deal with Netflix. But again, it's a rumor, it hasn't been officially announced.
Yeah, I don't think they've officially said which one is coming first or not.
Wonder Woman.
I was kind of thinking that just
Yeah, I'm
because
just reading
like
chat here. I was like, you know what?
And then
This is Peacemaker. Who knows?
I-
Throw anyone in.
I could see it though because James
Yeah.
Gunn recently said that they're things with Wonder Woman are looking up, but nothing he can share yet. Maybe
Right.
sneak in a little, cast an actress, show up. That would be a crazy first appearance for one of your like Trinity, though. Would be Peacemaker. Like that'd be insane. But I'm not against it.
Technically, Batman's first appearance was animated, so
That's
Yeah,
true.
Commandos. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I feel
Imagine,
like oh, sorry. Go ahead.
imagine Adria Arjona as Princess Diana.
I've
Wonder
seen
Woman.
I've seen talk about that possibility.
I want it.
If it happened, I'm simping. That's all I know.
Wait,
I need it.
I'm not familiar with her. I'm about to look her up. What's her name again?
Adria Arjona. She's in Andor, and she was in that one movie with Glenn Powell where he's a hitman.
Hmm.
She's so goddamn fine.
I do wonder if a Wonder Woman announcement's coming because, like, I don't know if I want this, but James Gunn did say he's working on another project that wasn't announced. I don't know if I want James Gunn for Wonder Woman, but also if she is that important to your universe, maybe she wants to set a standard, perhaps.
There's still a number of projects for that first slate that have not been said what they are yet.
Wonder Woman has to be one of them. There's no way it's not.
Do you think that they would do those things in the project where it's like a show about her surrounding world and a project with her as the lead?
But like we haven't heard anything about Paradise Lost since like it was almost announced, right? So like technically we don't even know if it's still happening, right? Like they could be like, we're moving a different direction kind of thing.
I mean, that's been the case with a number of those projects is that we haven't heard a lot, since they were announced because, like the things like Creature Commandos, Superman, Supergirl, they were like the ones that were closest to being made. So that's probably why we were hearing the most about them. And, but, granted, I think maybe like once those first few, like are out, like once we get Superman, Peacemaker season 2, and then I think it's Lanterns next. Once those come out, we'll probably start to hear a little bit more about the things that were announced in that slate, like Batman, Swamp Thing, maybe Paradise Lost and Booster Gold, and the Authority 2, which has like still been put on the back burner for a while.
Yeah, I could see this, Tony. I wouldn't be completely shy, and honestly, I'm kind of here for it because like I wasn't excited about that project. I'm not excited, but I prefer a movie.
Yeah, I think we've gotten too many of those shows where it's like the hero's surrounding world without the hero. Like Krypton, and I like Gotham for what it is, but things like that, or Gotham Knights is another one. It's like the hero's surrounding world without the lead hero there. It's like like you can only
like
do
with
this
the Venom movie.
Those are big examples, or like the Joker movies too. Like you can only do that so many times before it gets stale.
Like maybe a one-off and that's it.
Right. Which is probably what that Clayface thing is going to be. Like it's like one-off as like a bridge connector, and then that's it. It's not like
or kind of like their introduction to the character, and now he's going to face off against the hero.
Right. It's not like you're getting a trilogy of Clayface movies. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cough, cough, Sony, cough, cough, Venom, cough, cough.
Hey, Lance is in the comments. This imposter Lance. I don't know who this guy is. He says, I do wonder where this lands after Creature Commandos because Waller was doing stuff. I am curious because like that Waller TV show was supposed to come out first, right? It was supposed to be Peacemaker season 2, or sorry, Peacemaker season 1, Waller, Peacemaker season 2, right? So I'm wondering what we do with Waller in this show, where she stands in the trial of everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question.
For sure.
Man, Viola Davis so goddamn busy and shit. She's probably like, I ain't doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I you know what? What's another thing that people haven't probably talked about as much, but like will DC Studios do stuff like TV movies and try to do that as something that you don't have to commit a full film production or even TV production? Because I'm not trying to make comparisons, but like Marvel Studios has done the specials, which are in essence TV movies, but they've only done 2, and I can make the argument that they've been 2 of their most successful things post Endgame, and it's just like, why isn't anyone looking at TV movies that is not a new concept? It's been here for a decade. It's like try that and see if that works.
And that'll save their resources too, like because you like it's a one-off production that you're making. It's not the full schedule of like a full length feature film, and it's. I think honestly more so with DC than Marvel in this case, even though like Marvel's kind of beat them to it. DC has a whole myriad of characters that special presentation formula can work for.
Right.
Also, I kind of have a question. I watch a lot of just regular TV. That's mostly just streaming, YouTube, and streaming, like streams, not whatnot. Do they even do made for TV movies anymore?
Not really.
Not as much as they used to. No.
Only Hallmark do that bullshit.
I was about to say, yeah, the Hallmarks and stuff.
Hallmark are like Apple sometimes on like
Right.
the low stuff.
Yeah, because I just remember, like, I don't know. Well, God, I am so fucking old. I don't know if, okay, The Stand, the Stephen King book.
Yeah.
The Stand. Okay, they had like a TV series back in like, I would say
Mm-hmm.
93-ish, back around then.
Yep.
Scared the shit out of me. It was like a 3 or 4 episodes, like 3 or 4 1 hour long episodes. Why don't they do stuff like that anymore? I mean, streaming shows do that occasionally, but like, because it was like it was concise. Yeah, it was it was long enough to explain everything, but concise enough that it's not like, the entire episode, it doesn't take an entire season to explain everything.
Right.
I was like,
sorry, that
go back to
dog's
doing
killing
that.
me.
Yeah,
That dog's killing me.
she wants to play. Always wants to bite him, nibble on my fingers, which she needs to stop that. She's still a puppy, though.
Oh man. No.
Yeah.
I have a lot of nostalgia for those TV movies that used to come out, back in the day, especially like some of those Marvel ones. Like, I know this is one that gets dunked on by a lot of, people that grew up on MCU, but like, one of the common examples I think of is the Captain America movie from 1990. You can look
That
at
was
it
actually
now.
fairly decent.
Yeah, it was not bad for what it was, and honestly, like until Blade was out, it was really the only Marvel movie that you had.
Punisher.
There were a few TV Hulk movies. They were going to do one. They were going to do a team up one with Spider-Man and Hulk, but that fell through for a number of reasons.
There was that Punisher movie where Dolph Lundgren was the villain in that one. That was actually really good.
Dolph Lundgren was the Punisher in that.
I thought he was the villain. It's been so long, I can't remember.
He was the Punisher.
I thought he was the villain. I think the guy who played. No, that was Dolph Lundgren. Because I keep thinking the villain reminds me of Ivan Drago, and Ivan Drago was Dolph Lundgren. So that's why I got the cross talk.
Valid.
But yeah, those were actually fairly good.
Yeah. Especially since there wasn't as many things to compare them to at the time. So I think they looked better.
These were made like the mid '90s. So
yeah.
Special effects weren't actually. I don't know. That could be argued that special effects were better back then, or.
Well, I mean, what people don't realize too is that like if you have like a basic editing software and a $40 green screen, you have more technology and effects available to you than they did when they made those movies.
Yeah, when they made Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But then again, they had a lot of miniatures for Star Wars.
Oh yeah, that's what they call movie magic, man.
For sure. A couple of people are talking about Comic-Con, saying that they might announce new stuff at Comic-Con. I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but they recently said that it seems like only Peacemaker is going to Comic-Con this year, which really surprised me because I thought maybe we'd get something on Supergirl, like maybe at least the official suit or something, maybe a couple castings. I would like if they announced something, but maybe they're trying to let Superman breathe first because Superman will have just come out at that time.
I don't know. It's weird because they haven't had a presence at Comic-Con since DC Studios was officially announced. They haven't had any at all. Like the most was New York Comic-Con, but much like Peacemaker Season 2, it was only a Commandos panel. And they just mentioned, oh, your mind is going to be blown away by David Cornsway. And like, that's it that we got out of the DC Studios, which maybe that he's trying to be like, we're not going to do the whole Marvel presentation. I mean, fucking The Boys made fun of it. So it's like, we're not going to do that. But like, do an alternative. And again, you don't even have to speak about all your projects. Talk about just the ones that are in production. Give us an update on Supergirl and Lanterns. That's all we would need.
Yeah, they announced all that stuff way too soon. Way too soon.
Agreed. Yeah.
Like it was kind of inevitable though that there wasn't going to be much told at New York Comic Con, because that was in October of last year, and Superman had like just finished filming at that point. So there wasn't a whole lot there that they could show. And Commandos was the only thing. It was probably done at that point, if not close to done. But like that was the only upcoming project that they had within really any reasonable time frame, because like that was October, and Superman was still like at that point 9-10 months away.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Like I think you can show a lot by not showing a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously bring out the cast of Superman, have them talk about the movie, show their appreciation, do the Q&As, do all that fun stuff, like do that stuff. Easy, that's still promotion for your studio and also for the movie. Like all those people at the panel be like, okay, we're fun, right? Go watch our gosh darn movie where we can create a universe, right? I think the Supergirl stuff makes a lot of sense too. Have her come out maybe in that official suit, have that be the official way they announce it. I'd argue maybe same for Green Lantern. We don't know yet if they're going to have the fully comic accurate suits yet, but if they do have both of those actors come out in those suits, I think that would be really fun. Just little stuff like that, I think I'd be happy with.
Yeah, kind of like Stephen Amell did whenever they were changing from like the Arrow to Green Arrow, and he came out at Comic-Con wearing that costume. Is like a similar thing you're talking about, right?
Yeah, no. And like I think Marvel is probably going to unfortunately not unfortunately, but I think they might bring they have a lot of secrets they could drop. Like, they have a lot that they could show off. Like Fantastic Four. Will that have been out yet or no?
It comes out the week of Comic-Con.
Okay. So they're going to have a showing there. I think they're going to have a similar presence that they had last year. Obviously, nothing can probably beat that Downey announcement, right? Obviously. But maybe, show off some more of those chairs. Maybe literally this time around have them sit in those chairs, like one by one they come in and they sit down, right? That'd be kind of fun.
Paul Rudd's squeezing into a tiny chair. Ronan's blipping there.
Yeah. I could see them maybe announcing one secret project, which I guess that's a nice transition to this story. Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars both officially delayed until December of their respected years.
Oh
my God,
that's an awesome set picture.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Which a new one just came out like a couple hours ago. I just saw. I was like, holy shit. All the photos are coming out. It's so much fun.
Yep.
This news has been out for a couple of days now. I feel like we've all kind of talked about it separately elsewhere, so we don't have to talk about this too long. But like, this is huge news. Like, this is the huge thing for like what we do on here, right? Like, up until last week, we were under the impression Avengers was coming out in less than a year, and I think a lot of us were a little concerned. I think a lot of us had our doubts about that. How are we feeling? Are we okay with these changes? Are we happy with this?
Can I quote Thanos?
Go ahead.
It was inevitable.
Okay.
This again, we don't live in a vacuum, so we know that like a lot of stuff shifted from what they originally had planned, and I think this gives them a lot more space to really hone in, reiterate whatever it may have you to like get it right, because you start up the multiverse and it's a bumpy road, and like at the very least bring it home and just make the landing smooth. And I think that they probably took into consideration, and I hope they realize that like, yo, you can do this. You don't have a gun pointed to your head and whatnot. Like, Disney's not running out of money. It's Disney. They've been here since the 40s or whatever the fuck. Like they're not running out of money. So like, just nail this right, because if Doomsday and Secret Warriors is bumpy or doesn't deliver, then the trust with your audience that's been there is gonna, be scarred. And that doesn't help when you've just gone back the FF and you're about to build up to the X-Men. That doesn't help if you start doing that. So like, take your time with it. This maybe gives the actors time to like relax and not be too like tied up. Like, oh my gosh, we gotta shoot this for 6 months or 8 months, and then hope that the VFX look good and hopefully
the actors are right on to the next one.
Yeah, and hopefully they give this not just for honing in on it, but it also gives time for the VFX artist. That way, they don't have to work on crunch because
Right.
as much as I love Infinity War and Endgame, you can tell there are spots that was crunch time, and it doesn't take me away from it. But like that movie is not going to be lived by in a while, and people will be like, "Huh, that one segment felt a little off." And
Right.
who knows? Maybe it gives him more time to like hide stuff better. But yeah, I think it was inevitable, and I think it'll work out for the best in long term.
I was going through all the like Thanos quotes, and I was thinking, this does put a smile on my face. I was like,
fine,
oh.
I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
Hell
I'm
no, I
gonna
can't
go
shoot a movie like
film.
that.
Yeah.
Hell no.
I'm about to say, wait, you just about to just go down and say, all right, look, people, here's what we're going to do.
Open up a comic book, just do this.
All that for a little
will-
drop of blood.
I will shred this movie down to its last atom, and then with the time you've given me, create a new one.
She's gone for the head.
I'm gonna enjoy this so much.
It just makes me think of the whole thing with Downey came back. Downey just looks at the Russos. You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Back to me.
Yeah.
And that has some merit, I think, a little bit. It's just like I don't know.
Or not really the Russos, but him looking at Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really curious about like obviously it sucks, right? Because obviously we would like to have an Avengers movie in a year's time. That'd be awesome, right?
Right.
But yeah, like I think you're fully right, Ronan. I think this is in the best of everyone's interest. It takes a lot of time to make any kind of movie, and I think like Avengers is like the movie. Like they are some of the biggest movies of all time. They are arguably the most successful movies of all time.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be wrapping up the saga. This is supposed to be, heading into a new era. And like I fully agree. I don't know if they'd be coming back for the MCU if they failed Avengers movies. I really don't. Like that is their bread and butter. That is their reputation. That's what Marvel is known for. And I think if you would have come out and you would have said, well, these ones kind of suck, guys. They're not very good. I don't know if you could have got people to come back, even the like hardcore fans would be like, you know what? I'm done,
Yeah.
So and I agree. I think this is for the best. This also gives you opportunities to film with new actors if you want. Like we were pretty convinced before that this meant no Tom Holland and no, all these various actors because of everything. And I think it now seems like it's likely that Tom Holland may at least have some presence in this movie, which is cool to see.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
It just worries me because, and I've made this comparison a few times. If they can get like actors to say yes, like in that amount of time, or like lock them down for a certain amount of time to film scenes here, I hope that, because I still don't think it's been officially revealed yet on whether or not the script has been like 100% finalized.
Right.
And I really don't want this to be a Brave New World situation, which actually comes out on streaming today, I think. I don't want it to be that sort of situation where you can feel that the plot is taped together by certain characters being inserted at certain points, plot points kind of being like abandoned or introduced and then resolved too quickly. I really hope that doesn't happen. With not only the amount of time that they have left, I think that it gives them more time to iron out any potential kinks in the story, but get people locked down, get scheduling done, and figure out what they want to do, and don't make that classic mistake that so many studios and directors go of trying to write the movie as you're making it.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious because it does seem like it's a movie with a lot of cast. Potentially one of the biggest casts in a movie we've ever seen, right? Like we have like 20 cast members right now, and apparently that's just half, right? That's just, that's only some of the people we have in this movie.
Yeah.
So, and like I love Infinity War. It's my favorite Marvel movie of all time. Probably always will be. But that movie is very bloated. There's a lot of characters, and sometimes it doesn't have a lot of time to move. And I feel like we might have more characters here than we did in Infinity War. So I'm curious how they're going to to quote Thanos again, balance the scales of that cast.
Well, to quote Thanos even more, the hardest choices require the strongest wills.
That's true. Someone needs to make a compilation of all his greatest hits, all of his best quotes.
Someone has undoubtedly done that by this point.
There's no way they haven't. I also think December is a fun time for Avengers. Like we've never seen. We've seen a couple Marvel movies in December, right? No Way Home was December, right?
No Way Home, Spider-Verse, and on the DC side you had Aquaman, or both Aquamans actually. I think that's it that I can think of.
Yeah, I think it might help it. I think it might help the box office. I think.
Yeah.
James Cameron is going, what the fuck?
But with this delay, now Disney's not having to fight with itself, so now May is left open for Mando and Grogu.
They learned. They remember Solo. They're like, not that shit again.
Right, yeah, because they saw what happened there with Infinity War and Solo releasing right there. Solo got
and
swept
Deadpool
under
2
the rug.
that time.
Yeah.
What Deadpool 2 was like a month after Avengers. Now, granted, it was still a financial success, but Solo especially got swept under the rug. And if it had been released in December, like a lot of the past Star Wars projects up to that point, it undoubtedly would have made more money.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm just worried for Supergirl because that comes out a couple weeks after, I think, after Mando and Grogu. I'm pretty sure. So, or no, is that July?
Supergirl's a January movie, isn't it? January of 26. No,
it's summer. It's either June or July. I think it's July because no, it's June. Supergirl is June, and then Spider-Man's July, right?
Oh, July 26. Okay, so Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is scheduled to release July 2026. I just looked it up.
Okay. So
I don't know why I was thinking January. Probably because they both start with a J and end with a Y. I don't know. I think it just got mixed up.
So was both Superman and Supergirl coming out the same month then?
According to this, from what I'm looking at, yeah.
Shit. Supergirl might be good. I wonder if they move it.
You said Superman and Supergirl. You mean Spider-Man and Supergirl?
That's what I meant, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Supergirl might be cooked. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully they can both do well.
Hope not.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of happened to, Spider-Man, like all the way back in like 2012, whenever like the Avengers came out. Spider-Man didn't make as much money, and they came out like, I think there was like a month between the two movies, and Avengers was still riding a high, and Spider-Man didn't do as well. Granted, it was the start of a reboot, but it didn't do as well because Avengers was just destroying theaters at that point.
That was the Amazing Spider-Man 1, right?
Yep, 2012.
Yeah, a first reboot for Spider-Man was probably rough at the time.
Yeah. Yep. Looking back, I think there's a lot of things that movie does very well.
Andrew's still my favorite Spider-Man. Like, they're not my favorite Spider-Man movies, but he's my favorite person to play Spider-Man. Yeah. I think he does a fantastic job.
And that's fair, there's a lot of things that I will give like the movie No Way Home credit for, but it kind of united most of the Spider-Man fans. At least there are still a handful of ignorant ones out there, but it brought a lot of them together and said, hey, you can like whatever version of the character you want. Like they all have their strengths.
And you would think that other fandoms could look at that and be like, oh, sometimes new takes on characters aren't always bad. You know, like you would think that maybe that would, shock people. Like to this day, people are like, oh, why we got to give new takes on characters? I was like, if we didn't have new takes on characters, we wouldn't have Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, Kevin Conroy's Batman, like all of the, hell, you could even argue those original Harry Potter movies, right? You could argue, hey, why even do it, right? Because I have the books. It's like, yeah, you can have the books, and you got the movies, and you can have the TV show. You're allowed to have all three of them, and they all offer, I assume, something different.
Technically, if like you really want to go into it, if you weren't going for like new takes on characters, like if it was just one and done, you wouldn't have the MCU.
Wouldn't have Downey, yeah.
wouldn't have Downey. You wouldn't have Evans as Cap. You wouldn't have Hulk. Not Spider-Man. Not a new Fantastic Four.
Nope.
So much of it would be gone.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Spider-Man, and before I bring this up, I also want to say these are rumors. This is not officially set in stone. I think we're all been kind of treating it as if it is confirmed, but technically, it has not been confirmed by any official source.
Right.
With that in mind, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is currently rumored to have an involvement in Spider-Man 4. This kind of like blew up yesterday. Everyone was talking about this. Everyone was breaking this down. Everyone was going through this. If true, pretty crazy.
I don't want this.
Anybody remember the last time that Ruffalo's Hulk was rumored to appear in a 4th installment in a superhero? And it didn't happen, and everybody got butthurt about it.
Yep. I mean, he said he was, right? Ruffalo was like, "Yeah, I'm in it. I'm a part of that." And then Kevin's like, "Shut up."
He said he was in this or in
Cap 4.
In Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I wonder if he was, and maybe it was cut for some reason.
I mean,
Dude is a bit of a blabbermouth.
I mean, they cut out Seth Rollins' character completely. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave Ruffalo the same treatment.
Yeah. I honestly do believe this, though. I do. I think normally I wouldn't, but I think, there's several sources that were kind of saying this. It got spread very, very far. And there is still the thing where an MCU character has to appear in one of these Sony Spider-Man movies. As far as I'm concerned,
I fucking hate this deal.
The whole thing. Which I still don't understand why that's a thing. I don't understand why that's
because that was part of Sony's thing. It was like, you want Spider-Man, we need an Avenger in every movie. So
right, and it's like the only thing Sony has done independently with Spider-Man related media that has worked has been the Spider-Verse movies. So it's like they really don't have a leg to stand on.
Right. I don't hate Hulk though. I think out of all the options, I actually think Hulk is kind of a sick option.
What would his role even be?
Yeah, like it just seems out of place.
I could see it. I could see it. I pitched on Twitter this week. I was like, it'd be kind of cool if he was like his professor, right? If we're doing college age Spider-Man, it'd be kind of cool if like after everything he's trying something different. He's trying this more small scale stuff. Like he's done all this crazy stuff and he likes to teach and he likes to impress minds. Like I think that'd be kind of a cool idea. I know there's been theories with like Mr. Negative and stuff like that, right? And it's like, well, Hulk is a character that's he's like a very mental character, and there could I don't know, there's stuff there you could play with if that's the direction you wanted to take it.
Yeah. And it's not as though they ever interacted prior to the identity erasure, so you wouldn't have to worry about any of that because they never directly interacted before.
That's so crazy to me. That is so crazy to me that like at one point in time, Spider-Man, Hulk, and Wolverine were like your big three, right? They were your your big characters.
The big Marvel 3, yeah.
Yeah. And I assume part of it is just because they haven't been able to do a lot with Hulk in general. Just period.
Universal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Wolverine was gone off the screens for like 7 years.
Yeah. And like it's kind of funny to think about it. It's like both characters are the two Marvel characters that they can't properly use. So they're like, they're all in one project. We can kill two birds with one stone.
Why does Universal want the rights to Hulk so much? They didn't do anything with him.
Exactly. It's like you really don't have a reason to hold onto the reins if you're not going to use it.
I don't understand this shit.
I bet they could get him back. I bet if they really wanted to, they could be like, hey, here's a couple bucks. Like, give us the movie.
What does Universal have in terms of like IPs?
Family.
Don't they have their like monsters?
We don't need IPs.
Thing?
We have family.
I mean, now they have
the
How to Train Your Dragon
universe or whatever.
Yeah, like all the monster stuff.
Yeah.
That went nowhere.
the Dark Universe again.
I mean,
That
I mean,
I was
everything
actually excited
DreamWorks.
for that too, man. I was actually looking
Mario,
forward to that, but it
right?
turned to be shit.
Is that Universal?
Illumination. It's under Universal.
Yeah.
Because like most of their big stuff is like their other brands. It's like DreamWorks and Illumination, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like they don't have a lot, which is why they're going to milk the shit out of their new How to Train Your Dragon stuff, because that's not the animation studio. That's the main Universal Studios.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing a live action of that. Well, I know why, but why?
Money.
Yeah, I know why, money,
Exactly.
but creatively, why?
They want
Oh, creatively, there is no creatively because
they want to create money.
no, 100%. Like one of the creators that came back to direct the movie basically told him, hey, he's like, hey, either you do it or we'll find someone that will. And he's like, well, I'm going to join this where someone else can't ruin this masterpiece.
Right.
So there was no creative passion involved with it. I'd argue.
I've never seen those movies.
I've seen the first, and
Taj had to leave.
Wait,
it was
what?
Good.
What
it was
did I
good
just
seeing
hear?
him.
What did I just hear? What did I just hear?
Taj,
I've never seen the How to Train Your Dragon movies.
Taj had technical
You-
difficulties.
you broke my heart, Taj.
I haven't seen them either.
Like,
I love you when you
tried to-
stab me in the back.
I tried to watch them and then I'll turn it on and then get like bored and do something else. Like I've tried.
How to Train Your Dragon is like 2 is like my second favorite.
But
movie of all
also
time.
to be fair, like when I did watch them, I was also doing something, so like I couldn't like strictly focus on it. So maybe I'll try one day or something. I don't know.
So good.
Darren, no, sorry.
Darren is just like he's trying to put on that poker face after dealing with like massive heartbreak.
I can't move on from this. I can't. I can't believe it. But no, this is fun. This is. I'm curious what direction they will go. Like, do we have any like? If Hulk is in this movie, like, do we have a direction we would like them to go with this? Like, do we want them to do Professor Hulk, revert him back to Rageful Hulk, and in between of some sorts, just Bruce Banner? Maybe it's not Hulk at all.
Isn't the rumor
Personally-
that he's like the villain or something?
I heard that rumor. I don't believe that though.
I personally miss Raging Hulk, like the Jekyll and Hyde syndrome. I miss that Hulk, and you know what? I'm gonna just say this: like, I just miss that. Like, keep it just Tom Holland against a villain. That's it. Like, if you want to mention these characters, mention them, but like you don't need them with them because
Ronan,
every
it's
fucking
not up to Marvel though. That's the thing. That's the shit that pisses us off.
That's the sad part. That like you need in the first one, you need RDJ. You need the second one, you need Sam Jackson, and the third one, fucking you need Benedict Cumberbatch. And I love all those people, but
I
you're
understood
telling
the
me-
RDJ one. Like that one made the most sense.
Yeah.
All
To
the rest
an
of
extent,
them,
to
no.
an extent, yeah.
I didn't need the rest of them. Like,
I mean, honestly, the Doctor Strange one made sense for what you would see in
The story,
Multiverse of
yeah.
Madness.
yeah.
And I'll say this too, like this is just kind of like an out there theory. His role could be a lot, smaller than people are, putting on.
Smaller.
And like since like they never directly interacted before, obviously there's no, knowledge that he has lost. But I mean, Spider-Man, has like he would recognize the Hulk as, an Avenger.
Right.
That could be the thing that reintegrates him into the Avengers world to a degree.
Yeah,
like
like
they pull a Doctor Strange from like Thor
Ooh.
Ragnarok. Would that be better? Where he just appear for like 5-10 minute scene or whatever. And
I'll
then
take
pop
that.
out.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
Okay,
that.
Fine with that.
Like
And again-
Falcon and Ant-Man, like that scene, that was a good scene, and then he's gone. Like it's just
And if they're gonna be in Doomsday or in Secret Wars together, like, and again they've never met, you're like, you're the Spider-Man kid, like, you're the Hulk. Oh, Dr. Banner, it's an honor and pleasure to meet you, sir. I'm a big fan, whatever. And like quick scene, and then just the last thing say, like, Tony used to talk to you. Tony used to talk about you a lot. And like be that's all, give this look of like acknowledgement and be like, Like he kept in high regard for you, and like he spoke good of you. So it's just like that's all you need.
I don't know if that would work though.
Because he forgot they all erased the memories and stuff.
Because Hulk was in when all that happened.
Well, I mean, at one point during the blip, the 5-year gap, I would have assumed that him and Tony at least spoke once.
I don't think he said anything to him about Peter.
If he wanted to tell Cap, I lost a kid. Like I'm pretty sure his science.
But
bro,
him and Cap have a different relationship though. That makes more sense.
That's
well,
fair.
I mean, there would at least be like something unspoken there. Like even if he didn't speak about him, Tony had a loss after Peter died, right? So I feel like he would at least know what he meant to Tony. Although the question would be, would he remember that? Right?
Yeah, because
like,
of the spell, shenanigan. Yeah.
Right.
They kind of they played coy with that because whenever you see the picture of Tony and Peter, they show you that in Happy's office in Deadpool and Wolverine. But Peter is intentionally blocked from the picture. You can't see the spot where he would normally be because that Iron Man helmet is in the way of it. So they kind of knew what they were doing there. It's like, oh, so now is that just a picture of Tony?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, how are they gonna play into that? But like, I've always really appreciated the dynamic between Spider-Man and Hulk.
That don't make sense now.
What?
Because Tony died, so you can't erase his memory. So shouldn't he still be in the picture?
Yeah, I when the spell played, and started playing a part, I just figured it was
so
that time.
Now.
Yeah, I feel like it was just that time. Like anybody who knew Spider-Man was Peter Parker,
Any living person.
yeah, and at that time in No Way Home, that date, that weekend, like nobody remembers who if anybody knew, they forgot. So
right.
I don't think he was like, since the birth of time, nobody can ever know that. I don't think that's yeah. If that was the case,
rewrite history. Yeah,
it's a clusterfuck. If they
he's not Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be some people who knows who he is. That's probably gonna be like a plot point somewhere later on. Who knows?
And like, I think they still know Spider-Man, right? Like, I think all these heroes still have a memory
They
of
know who Spider-Man is.
Yeah,
they just don't know who Peter is.
Fucking Kingpin mentioned him. Without mentioning him in the show, so it's just like, yeah, Spider-Man is known.
Yeah, and then even Doctor Strange references him by name, Spider-Man. So
Right.
they still know who the hero is, just not who's under the mask.
It just kind of, I assume it's blurry, because I would be curious about characters like, I mean, Happy, of course, but also like a Daredevil who like actively worked with, Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I do wonder if it's like, they remember working with a kid to try and hide his identity, but he can't remember who. It's like it's kind of blurry in his mind.
Yeah, and then like all the Guardians that like fought with him on Titan against Thanos.
They might have not known his name.
Spider-Boy. That's all they're gonna say.
Yeah, there's like so many ways that they could get around that. I just hope they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
How do people still not know going into Secret Wars will be interesting, because now there's a Spider-Man movie before Secret Wars.
Right.
And if they really wanted to, they could like retcon it. They could have it be all wrapped up by the end of the next movie, which I hope they don't do.
Right.
I want them to keep that a little while.
But I just hope they know what they're doing. I hope they have a plan for that.
Agreed. And like I've always really enjoyed this Spider-Man and Hulk dynamic in terms of just like other material that's not the MCU, right? I've always like that they've always had this like respect for one another, and I know it'll be different with Smart Hulk, obviously, right? But like I do think there are a lot of similarities there with characters, and I think both characters are at their core trying to conceal who they are and trying to. These two characters who are both very, very smart and very ahead of their time. And both are trying to control their anger, one trying to deal with like the responsibility of all this kind of stuff. Like I think there's a lot of like similarities with these guys. And like if done right, I would really enjoy a Hulk in a Spider-Man movie. If it's not overbearing. Yeah. If it stays in its own lane, if it's not like the main focus of a movie, like Hulk being the like main villain of a Spider-Man, that sounds awful. I would freaking hate that. Right. But
I'll say this: I rather at this point, I rather take a scene or maybe just a 2-minute, 3-minute fight sequence between Hulk and the Thing and Doomsday or Secret Wars than this presence in this movie. I'm like, just do that sequence. I was like, you're the other big guy in town, and they just duke it out, and it's just like, oh, it's right out of the comics, and like that's.
Yep. I'm hoping we get that at some point.
Hulk has had great dynamics with other characters. Like, I mean, fucking Wolverine. That's a whole. That's a whole trilogy right there. Stuff you could do. You know, that's the Thing was another big thing. Like early on in the comics, was like, oh shit, that are two big, lovable characters that are the big monsters.
Yeah, two big bruisers just going at it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the point of this. Maybe the point is that maybe they want regular Hulk back for these events. So like maybe this whole thing is just to like try and revert him back. But I would be a little worried because I also don't want to revert Bruce's development either. Like I want it to be done in a way that feels respectful for the character we've been following for the last 15 years or so.
I just thought of something that there's a 99% chance that this will not happen, but it'd be really cool. If whenever we're getting our X-Men stuff down the line, what if they use Hulk as their way to reintroduce this new version of Wolverine, and they introduce him as an antagonist to the Hulk at first, like was brought in before, and that's the way he's brought in. Is that going to happen? Probably not, but damn it, it'd be cool.
I'd be kind of into it. I think that's a way of doing a Hulk movie without a Hulk movie. But can you have Hulk in the title of a movie, or no?
I don't know.
Could you do like Wolverine versus Hulk or something, or would you have to call it something different?
Well, they did that in an animated movie. They had Hulk versus Wolverine. I don't know if you could do the same thing here.
Right. Just call it like Wolverine versus or something, or I don't know.
Yeah. But no, it would be really fun if they played with that idea. We'll have to just wait and see if it ever happens.
Right. With this news though, I did want to place you guys a question because I was very shocked when I remembered that Hulk and Spider-Man never interacted. So I was thinking this week, what are some MCU characters that have never interacted that you think should in the future? And like when you break it down, there are a lot of iconic characters in Marvel's lineup over the years. There's a lot of characters. This can be new characters that they've just introduced that obviously haven't worked together. This can be new and old. These could be characters that should have been interacted by this point that hadn't for some reason. That this could be a fun little discussion, if you will.
First one that comes into my mind is I'll be very disappointed if Bruce Banner and Reed Richards don't interact at all.
Oh.
That would break my heart. I'm like, you're telling me the two science bros, the science, the nerd club of all the scientists in this universe don't interact for 5 minutes and just talk about quantum physics or whatever the fuck.
Right.
Come on now.
Give me that. Give me those think tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the other side of it,
that means we're not gonna have T'Challa interacting with them either. Fuck.
Yeah, you can't have the Illuminati.
Shit, that pisses me off.
What were you saying, Darren?
I mean, just
bad.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. On the other side of it, you already mentioned it. I think. Jake, sorry. Thing and Hulk, or I think that needs to happen. I want that fight. I want their it's clobbering time, Hulk smash, hair off, which I think would be again one of the reasons I kind of hope that they do revert Hulk in some ways because I want to see that. I want to see
those. That's about to be a fucking bloodbath, man. The thing always. Every time they fight, the thing get his ass beat, bro. It's so bad.
Yeah. I'll throw one that for obvious reasons it hasn't happened yet, but at some point I need to see that Spider-Man and Johnny Storm back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta see
Yeah.
that at some point.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that was like one of the biggest charms of reading like the original Ultimate Spider-Man comics back in the early 2000s was having characters like Johnny Storm be such a prominent figure in those, and
Mhm.
not only to Spider-Man's life but also to Peter Parker's. And God, like, I mean, they're two hotheads, they're two loudmouths, and it's like on one hand they would really get along, and then on the other hand it's like, okay, you're fucking annoying, and it's
Right.
like, no,
Yeah.
you're annoying. It's like it would just be hilarious to bring together.
It sucks because he's gone. Well, he's old, but we're not going to get Cap and Wolverine.
World War II flashback. I'm just kidding.
Yes, like
Yeah. I would not. I would be there for it, man.
I would. That would be one of the like very rare situations from like bring Chris Evans back, like for that.
I heard they originally wanted to, like when they first did the first Cap, they wanted like Logan in it. So like, man, missed opportunity.
If Hugh Jackman still plays the Wolverine from Deadpool Wolverine in his universe, maybe he did interact with Steve. Is that you? And just like, oh shit, like, man.
Yeah.
Like on that Chris Evans thing too. Again, obviously Steve's old now, but I would have loved to have that version interact with like they're bringing Cyclops back in Doomsday. Like you had the leader of the Avengers and the leader of the X-Men. It's like, damn it, this could have been so cool.
Yeah.
Has Loki and Wanda Maximoff Scarlet Witch have interacted?
No.
No.
I'd like to see that. And
Yeah.
I liked Stephen Strange and Wanda's interaction. Like I like that they had an interaction. I wasn't fully all the way in with what they discussed and how they went about it. Like I've always been like in my mind. There's a photo that came out. I think it was for Endgame, and it's a back shot of Benedict and Elizabeth like doing like spells together. And I was like, I've always wanted to see that. And I would hope that Loki would do something. You know what? Hell, I would want the scene with Loki and one of the original Avengers members that's not Thor, and be like, just settle that in. Be like, I'm not your enemy anymore. Like I'm an ally. I'm here to help, and have that let them sink in because he was the catalyst of the reason why they all got together and started the band. And so maybe it's very intriguing to see like,
but that would be his timelines Avengers though. It wouldn't be ours.
Clint would be really fun because Clint was like probably has trauma with Loki, right? Like Clint has to be like, get the fuck away from us. Like we're not trusting
Mr. Barton,
asshole.
please.
Yeah.
Hell, give me a scene with Loki and this is probably gonna happen, but Loki and RDJ's Doom, where he doesn't know Doom is the villain yet, and he tries to appeal to Tony Stark. And then he sees that it's obviously not Tony, and then it's like, oh shit, you're not who I thought you were.
Wait, is Loki in the movie?
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston.
So he can move from that place and everything is fine?
Maybe it's not fine. Maybe that's not great. I think he might be the MacGuffin, unfortunately. Like, I would not be shocked if the whole thing is like, who can get there first?
Kind of like Vision in Infinity War.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting, man. And I hope that like TVA have a good presence in some of these films. Like that was such a great new concept. I'm like, please play that, let that play factor and be like that. I'll be like, what the fuck? None of us knew this existed, not even Nick Fury. Shit, like what the fuck? And just like, okay, this is what's at play. And then I don't think they're gonna be in Doomsday, but just allude to them. I'm like, we already have a squad looking into this, but we need someone right now to handle the situation. Like, you have somebody else on there. I'm like, yes, eventually we'll introduce you, but we don't have time for that. And just allude to Secret Wars and be like, you just hear katanas swinging and you just hear the snakes. Like, that's it.
I would not be surprised if they did something similar. This is a little bit of an out there reference. I don't know if everyone will get this, but if they make something similar to what they did with like Oliver Queen as the Spectre, to where he could only intervene when like the multiverse was in danger, maybe they could do something like that for Loki, where it's like the multiverse or the timeline or whatever it may be. If like the greater, being of like the stakes of everything, I guess, is in danger, maybe those are like the boundaries that have to be crossed in order for him to intervene.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think who else I would want. You mentioned Doctor Strange and Loki, right? Ronan, is that who you said?
Initially it was Strange and Wanda, but I remember they had interacted in Multiverse. I didn't like it all the way. But
Yeah.
the only time they've interacted, Strange and Loki, was in Ragnarok. But they haven't
Yeah,
gotten a
that's
full scene,
true.
which is like, all right, you're annoying, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'd like Strange and Agatha. I think those two would have a lot of fun together. Agatha would piss him the hell off. He would be having none of that shit. I think that'd be really fun.
The only interactions I want are stuff that's never going to happen, like
go for it.
Say like Corsair in the Guardians of the Galaxy, because Corsair's not in it because we don't have the X-Men.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen in Doomsday, but Secret Wars, I need to have Hugh, Toby, and then not Chris Evans, but some of the other FF.
Eric Bana, Hulk. No,
yeah, or what's his name? Mr. Fantastic from the Tim.
Ian Griffin.
Yeah, like have them in a scene together and be like, holy fucking shit, like.
Deadpool and Spider-Man are really good at
in Infinity War in a way that you don't have to, but like, you want to up the ante? Boom, we're going old school with that. Like,
I agree, Dalton, but make it Andrew.
Yeah,
make it Andrew and Ryan Reynolds. I think that dynamic would go off the wall. That'd be great.
Spider-Man, huh? More like Spider Grandpa or whatever he's gonna say when a middle-aged man.
Yeah, for him to punch the shit out of him, and he go flying like 20 feet.
Watch Deadpool make a back joke again. Be like, oh, I need to stretch my back. I've heard that before.
Damn it.
Definitely a joke there about like both of them almost not coming back, right? Like both of them, almost being shelved, but Marvel shoving them the money and bringing them back in or something.
Yeah.
Watch them like come through a portal like in the middle of like a big like debate between the FF or the X-Men or the Avengers, and then you see them like, wait, so they sewed your mouth? No, not me. They sewed another dude version of me's mouth, and like, what's the deal with that? He's like, wow, that's cool, man.
Right.
No, right.
Or
hi everybody.
He just pops into like a debate between like, say there's like an Avengers X-Men debate, and he goes, man, see, neither one of you guys would let me into your club.
Do we get the Council of Reeds?
I imagine that's going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
And like go the full route. Miles Teller, John Krasinski, Ian Griffin, Pedro Pascal, and what was his name in the Roger Corman shelved movie? I can't remember the actor's name, but bring that one back. The hell
bring
of
him
it.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine fucking Deadpool looking at all the Reeds and then naming off the dude from The Office, cool, Internet Daddy, Whiplash.
Joel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another interaction I will never get that, but I want Kang and Fantastic Four. There was a whole comic series of that, but no.
Yeah.
We're also never going to get T'Challa interacting with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Don't
imagine if the
T'Challa
FF were introduced with T'Challa duking it out them, just like FF48 or 50. What do you think?
50? Is it 56?
I think it's one of the T'Challa's first appearance, but like he dukes it out with the FF and beat them, and it's just like, okay, this guy with the cat suit just kicked our asses. Where are we?
You got hands.
52.
There you go. 52. Yeah.
Man.
Imagine the scene between Galactus and Doom.
Oh.
In the year of our Lord, a guy with an iron mask, with a cape, green, talking to a tall ass dude with a big ass helmet.
Yeah.
It's like, if only Kirby could just watch this, man.
Oh, I've seen that theory about them bringing back Josh Brolin for like a quick 5-minute scene just to pay off that bit from Marvel Comics where Doctor Doom gets so
destroys him
powerful and just rips out Thanos' spine, And that would be something you could do if you want to create a sense of dread for Doom, like you did for Thanos in the first 5 minutes of Infinity War, where he kicks the Hulk, kills Heimdall and Loki. If you want to do something like that to really give Doom a presence, bring Josh Brolin back for 5 minutes, have him get his ass kicked, and then just murdered.
Just be like, power. You all this time you seek power. No, power is nothing without control, without order.
It's like there is only power, and those two weak to use it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
On that note, do Cable and Thanos.
You know what? Do it. Yeah.
Hey,
That'd be
you
fun
sound
as hell.
familiar. No, you sound familiar.
Yeah. Oh,
I would not mind seeing Cable and Domino back.
No.
Yeah.
They were cool.
I think Cable would be fun. Yeah.
I like Cable was awesome in the Deadpool movie.
From what I heard, the Deadpool 2, a lot of the reshoots or additional photography was of Cable and Domino because in test screenings, people love them too. And it's just like, good.
Still can't believe how good they made those effects look on Cable.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Whew.
It's like finally an X-Men character done correct on the movie. Jesus.
Well, that's
Deadpool's the only movie.
Yeah.
Deadpool was like the only movie that ever did the X-Men correctly.
Yeah, it's like, they actually showed you how to do characters like Colossus, for example, right.
That's why I'm hyped the MCU got them now, because they gonna do them right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They're not, I hope at least, like they can get, directors and, writers who are not ashamed of the comic roots, who are willing to lean in.
God.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm leaning into my X-Men. I need a fastball special or speedball special. I need one. If it's against the Avengers or if it's against Galactus or whoever the fuck, I need one of them. Like,
Yeah.
oh, and full suit.
Yeah. And
Both
give
of them.
me that James Marsden to me, my X-Men line.
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember Darren saying like I need him in the suit. Like that's not like something I wish for. Like I need that.
And not have freaking Mystique as the leader of the X-Men. What the fuck were they thinking? Oh my god, Mystique of all freaking people, Mystique's the leader. I know she does join the X-Men eventually, but as the freaking leader, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah,
We say that, but she's also one of the only people that get brought back for Doomsday. No Thor, no G.
Yeah.
Also, somebody in the cast already like quote unquote mentioned a potential
Yep.
fight sequence.
Yep.
And when I heard that never crossed my mind that would happen. And now that was mentioned, I'm like, with those two performers, I'm like, I can't wait to be there. And I hope I don't have to use the restroom when it happens. I'm like, no, since they mentioned it in a fucking interview, I want to see how that's gonna look. And
because you would never think that those two would interact ordinarily.
No.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, and man, it's like now I just got to see that.
Yeah.
Imagine, dude, you know what? Imagine if Kurt Warner gives a little counsel for Peter once Peter sees Doom. Like he looks like the guy that I looked up to, the guy that like was a father to me, and don't worry, young man, the world must go. Whatever. He gives him a little like a little bit of peace offering. Just
And if they could go down the X-Men 97 route. Like this is just a small little thing. Like this isn't a make or break, but I would shit my pants if this happened. If they just gave us so you guys remember what X-Men 97 did with that Wolverine Nightcrawler team up fight sequence?
Yeah.
You saw the POV of Nightcrawler's bam.
Oh yeah, teleporting. Yeah.
Give me an action scene like that. I am probably going to need a paramedic, but God, I would love it.
Yeah.
I would need a new pair of pants.
I'm gonna feel so bad for the audience in my theater because I'm gonna be screaming anytime they do moments like that. It's like, God damn it, they're doing it.
Or Nightcrawler and I don't know if they ever met in the comics or Nightcrawler and I was going to say Deadpool and Daredevil. Jeez.
Yeah, because they have
the Men of Faith.
Yeah.
They're both devout Catholics, and so I was like, that would be interesting to dialogue between them two.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't think
Daredevil
can
and
be in these, but
Daredevil and so many characters. Like match him up with anybody. I'd be so interested to see what that dynamic looks like.
Bro, imagine if Bruce talks to Matt again and be like, "So, you dating my cousin or what?" He's like, I don't know yet. He's like, what's gonna happen if you pick her heart. I'm like, I understand. I'm like, she speaks highly of you. People speak highly of you. I'm trusting you, man. Don't piss me off. It's like, I know, I won't. But also,
like me when I'm angry.
also, yeah, like also heads up, I'm blind, so I don't think you don't want them to use catching an Avenger beating up on a blind man. I don't think you want that. He'd be like, touche. Okay.
Yeah, that would put their legal troubles all up in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Stop. I mean, I gotta mention it. I don't even know if it counts here, but like, my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cast with like so many characters. Like, I think it's a damn shame we don't get like Daisy Johnson and May with like Black Widow and Clint. Like, that's such a missed opportunity. I mean, you can do Daisy and Daredevil, right? Like, that's been teased over the years with them being in the same orphanage growing up and stuff like that. Like, so many of those lineups would be sick as hell.
Robbie Reyes, bring him back.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Gabriel, I think Gabriel's down to do it, but also, and I hope he's smart about it. Like, hey, I don't want, you better not throw me some chump change. Like, right now, I'm kicking ass on TV. I'm like, give me a check and I'm there. Yeah.
That TV show would have been so sick.
Yeah. They were trying, but man.
They were.
Also, I imagine when Yelena meets up with the OG Avengers, and like, you all knew my sister besides Clint, and like we did. She was a sister to us as well. Like, just like have that close, that like have that like peace offering of just like I was her sister. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Imagine when Yelena meets Bruce. Like,
yeah,
Natasha's talked about you. Like, you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
No, we can skip that. I don't need that.
I didn't mind it, but I get it. Yeah.
So here's kind of a like out there, kind of left field one. You guys remember going back to the first Avengers where you had that confrontation between Captain America and Loki, and then Iron Man joined into it?
Yeah.
What do we think Loki's sort of response and reaction would be to seeing that Sam is now Captain America?
Hey, say that again?
So Loki interacting with Sam as Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he had that brief fight with Steve in the first Avengers movie.
A soldier.
The man at a time, yep. Like, I just wonder if you could generate some sort of cool interaction there.
Yeah. Sam with a lot of people. Like, I'm so interested to see like what his dynamics are going to be as new Captain America. Like, there was that photo that came out today of Simu Liu and Anthony Mackie, and instantly I'm like, oh, that's a duo I'm so excited for, because I think they're going to clash really, really well together.
Dude, I hope to God, FF, crew, and cast, please do this. I don't want a yuck post credit or end credit scene. Like, don't do that. Like, this is the movie before Doomsday. Like, all you got to do is just do something to tease the FF and Avengers, and then do something with Sam and Shang-Chi. Just be like, all right, I need your help.
What if he trains them? Like, he's like, I need some more experience. Bruce hooks him up like, hey, I know somebody.
Yeah. Do we guys think there's merit behind those talks that Sam's Avengers team is going to consist of people like Bruce Banner, Shang-Chi, Carol Danvers, and people like that? Do we think there's merit to that?
I think so, yeah.
But also, it'll be a great talking point with the new Avengers. Be like, okay, if you're the Avengers, where the fuck have y'all been?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, we're cleaning up the mess for y'all, but we're not Avengers? Yeah.
Yeah, like they could very well just amalgamate their two groups, basically.
West Coast Avengers, man. I needs that after all this.
Why don't they just do that? Yeah.
I needs it.
I wouldn't be surprised if that comes post Secret Wars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so silly just yelling in the movie theater if they say the West Coast Avengers will return, and he's like, ah! It's like, what's the deal?
Chicken jockey.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Cause we need a new setting, man. We've been in New York a lot. We could just do something somewhere else. I know most of the fucking Marvel comics take place, like 60% of it takes place in New York, so it's kind of hard to get away from it.
What's hilarious that you bring that up, Taj, because none of the Spider-Man movies and because like the comics have so much New York iconography, none of Holland's Spider-Man movies have really focused on New York.
Except the first one. That was probably it.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of, but like it didn't really feel like, that's one of the things I loved about the Raimi movies and the Webb movies too, is that New York felt like a character. And in the Holland movies, it didn't really feel like that. It just kind of felt like a backdrop for action set pieces.
I like that because they did it twice before. I needed to do the same thing.
I'm not saying have them do the same thing, but like they had their own, like it's not as though they were playing the same type of character. Like, Raimi's New York had its own unique identity. Webb's New York had its own. They were separate. Give that sort of thing for Holland because,
I mean, he's about to get it. So I like the fact that the 3 movies was like an origin story to him becoming,
Yeah, I didn't mind that.
Yeah, so
that's a good
cool
picture.
seeing all these like photos start to come out with this cast.
Oh god, hold on, I gotta go for the dog.
Damn, Winston looks so happy.
Yeah.
Hey,
He
man,
seems
the
to be like a
Marvel
big
checks be
part of this
clicking.
one.
He's been a highlight, man. Like,
Yeah.
Do you
Like
think
when
they
it-
gave him a
Demon-
suit?
when Infinity War happened, and he showed, and then like, of course, brother, and it's just like, oh, homie.
If
Do
he
y'all think he
finally,
gets a suit?
Oh, please.
I want him to don the man-ape suit. I want that to happen.
He's the king of Wakanda right now. Like,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
king.
Yeah.
Even though Shuri's Black Panther, he's king. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if he gets that giant, ape suit,
I don't think they're
and
gonna do that.
a man can dream, man.
Just that
Listen,
retro fight.
I
was
would be
totally nice
hyped.
with it.
Hold on,
But
gotta
I
look at
do
this
not
kid.
want to see the other side of that. No, I do not need. No offense, I don't need the left wingers
He doesn't want to see gorilla
saying
cheeks.
this shit, bro. No, I'm talking about the racist people. Like I don't.
Yeah, why is there a black man in a ape
them
costume, and
actually
then you
calling
have
him like a
the
monkey or something. Like I'm not with none of that.
yeah.
shit.
See, I told you
Yeah.
them people with monkeys now they got that monkey suit on. I told you what. Nah, it's gonna
Like
be-
I don't
You know
want
what?
to see that. That's the reason why they didn't do it in the movies. 'Cause
Right.
it was like, nah.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave him some of that, the whole gorilla motif and everything,
Yeah.
but he
With
didn't
the
have
retro
like
fight,
a
yeah.
full-on ape
Yeah.
suit. Yeah.
Like don't,
He has
don't-
still one of the funniest lines in the MCU.
You
bald
bald-headed
Bald-headed
demon.
demon.
We were all on the same wavelength. I did not take a second guess
I
at all.
love it. I fucking love it.
That moment in Wakanda Forever when he gets like hit in the chest,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
clutched my
so
pearls.
strong,
I thought
man.
he died there. I was
Yeah.
like, no,
Don't do
no.
it, man. Yeah.
Like, no, he's my favorite damn character.
He's so
That was funny. I saw this one little animation someone did where he just punched a dude in the chest. He's like, hey, no, wait, man. My name's Winston Duke, man. I ain't part of this. I thought this was a movie.
If we are going to
He
get
gets punched
crazy,
so hard he breaks
you
character.
better get crazy. Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they're gonna do a similar sort of thing, what they did. Like right before the Battle of Wakanda happened in Infinity War, where him and Okoye are like, this is gonna be the end of Wakanda, and they're like, this is gonna be the greatest ending in history. I wonder if we're gonna have a similar sort of build up to a fight like that.
yeah.
I mean, Doom would want Wakanda resources. He would want.
Yeah. Because that place is
Yeah.
prime central for things like vibranium and probably a lot of other technology they haven't discovered yet.
And also because of that, he would have to fight Namor too, because Namor's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that fight would be crazy. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Namor needs to interact with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Oh man.
See, I don't want
Yeah.
that yet. I don't want that yet. Not yet.
I'm not saying I'm
You know.
not saying immediately, but it needs to happen.
Because I
Hey,
need
Stu, what's going on?
Pedro have his moment. Because
No.
the moment Sue see the
Married
pack,
or
the pipe this man packing, it's over with. It's over. I just
Ugh.
Just watch that. Just have her like have a reaction of Vanessa to Tenoch, and then like Pedro's really just looks at her, and we're all of a sudden like, not yet, don't do that yet.
Right.
Not
It's
yet,
like,
yeah.
hold on, don't do it.
Oh man.
I'm hyped for this movie though. As long as they
Yeah.
take their time, I trust the Russos. They've
Yeah.
done really good things.
I've seen people be like upset by that. It's like, oh, like they went back to the old, they went back to the familiar. It's like, okay, sure, you can critique that if you want, but they also went to the people who have the best damn resume to make a movie like this.
Yeah, I was about to say their track record is spotless right now.
Yeah, like
so,
they are 4 for 4. So
Yeah.
the fact that
Like,
they
chill
went
the fuck
back
out.
to borrowed trust, to borrowed talent, I honestly don't think it's a bad thing.
And also musically, like I've been rewatching that, like not the whole stream video, but like the 1 minute thing of the chairs. And just hearing Sylvester's just music. Like when we were watching it at the end, the bombastic like new iteration of that
Yep.
Avengers theme, and it's
That
just like
Doom
whew,
score, whew.
yeah.
Now I'm wondering. This is just like a small little out there prediction. Like as the credits are wrapping on Fantastic Four, is it gonna fade into Sylvester's Doom iteration of the Avengers theme?
That'd be fucked up. I'm like, oh shit.
Right.
I can't wait. I haven't been hyped. You were talking about FF. I haven't been this hyped to like get the soundtrack to the movie as soon as possible because there's pieces of music that we haven't even heard yet. Like there was a piece of music I still recall from the Comic-Con panel when they introduced all the cast members, and it was very like 50s, grocery shop style like entrance music that they haven't like been putting in the trailers yet. And I'm dying to hear the rest of that music. Like, oh.
I was
Man.
even talking about this too. I think I was on. I think Darren, you and I were talking about this on your pipeline that I was on. Like leaving aside the fact that this is a comic property, the Fantastic Four movie coming out. Just look at the way it's put together as a movie. You don't really get movies made in that style anymore with that aesthetic, that tone, that type of musical score, just that setting and that. I don't like to use this word that much, but that vibe. You don't really get movies made that way anymore. So I think it's a breath of fresh air just in that regard.
Right.
I love how they're wearing red and blue here.
Cut the check.
Yeah, like it's like little stuff like this. Like I'm really excited for these like new dynamics to be formed. Like
Finally.
I hadn't even thought of these two characters like together, but once I did, I was like, oh yeah, their vibes would work really well off each other. Like I think they're very similar, but yet very different in terms of their tone and kind of what they're all about. So like it's stuff like that I've been waiting for. Like that's exciting to me.
These two Comic-Cons, like I'm really gonna do an effort to cosplay at least once, and just like step back a little bit and just interact with people who are big Shang-Chi fans or big Shuri's Black Panther fans. You start talking to them, you're like, I wonder how our dynamics are gonna be in a year and a half, and then in 2 years and a half when these two movies have come out and how that vibe is. I can't wait for the marketing. I want to see how they market these fucking movies.
It's gonna be a crazy era, and like I'm already kind of like I'm dreading this era a little bit because we're currently in we've never had an Avengers movie in this new AI era yet, and it's already horrible. I've seen like 20 different things of like a new trailer for Avengers or like a new post. It's like they haven't even properly filmed yet. They don't have like finished VFX and like it's like guys, come on. People are falling for it. Falling for it. It's a mess.
Well, my D&D game's about to start, so I will catch y'all next week.
Catch y'all later.
Yeah, Omega.
I do think we're kind of heading towards the end here. I feel like we've
The
talked
endgame?
all that we could possibly talk. Yes, we are in the doomsday of the stream here, if you will. I want to give a big shout out to all the people in the chat today who dealt with me as your host. I want to give a massive shout out to all the people who still came through today despite the lack of Lance. I'm trying to think who all was here. Chainsaw was here. Omega was here. 3Dubs was here. Am I missing anybody that had left? I think that's it, right?
That's it.
I think so,
Yeah. And of course, one by one, I'll ask you where people can find you. Taj, what you're working on, what you're doing, making any cool video game or videos. Video games.
I wish.
Anything that you're working on, buddy?
Just my reactions. Got Lab Rats reaction coming this week on my block this week. I'm trying to figure out when they get those out because I got a prom thing to go to Thursday, so I'm like, shit. I don't know, but I'm gonna be free to do those. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Incredible. Ronan, where can people find you? What you've been working on? What you doing?
Wrapping up Last of Us coverage for this season of the television. I got one more stream, or maybe two, TBD. But like, I don't know. At least I have one more stream to talk about the season as a whole. I hope to have some of y'all who want to talk Last of Us on it. And what else can I tease? I'm gonna be looking at some shows that I've put in the back burner, and the watch later category for me, and then just put out reviews or reactions depending on people if they like it or not. Let's just say right now, I'll say this: I have seen the first 8 episodes of Black Lagoon's anime that I had never seen beforehand, and I have only had read the first volume or 2 of that manga, and I love it thus far, and I might do a video up of that, and there might be more of that flavor coming down my pipeline. So, and you best believe in 2 months, I'm going to be in San Diego doing a lot of stuff. So that's what I got this far.
Incredible. Mr. Joypad Jake, what you working on? What you making? What you creating? What you streaming? What's going on with you?
Well, due to finally getting my video editor and player fixed, I'm able to get my next few uploads out this week. Have my next Arkham ranking, which is the Arkham City bosses. Our next character costumes ranking. Our previous one was Iron Man. Our one coming this week is Deathstroke. Our next retro review, which is X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse, which is turning 20 in a couple months. Crazy to say that. Also, I've got the Secrets of Arkham stuff. I've got a thing that I'm doing upcoming starting in June. I'm going to be doing reactions to character voice compilations where, those videos play through all the voices of a character and giving my reactions to those, whether I like or dislike. I'm in the middle on them. Outside of here, you can also catch me on my own stream, Jake's Lost Levels, on Sundays, where I get all my PS4 data back. We had an Arkham Asylum stream last week. A lot of new people popped into that one, so that was really good. This coming Sunday is another Skyrim stream. We're making some good progress there. And also on here pretty much every week unless something happens that takes me away.
Incredible. Looking forward to all the new content coming from you lovely gentlemen. Obviously, I'll self-promo Lance's stuff since he's not here. Party Nation every Tuesday. I'm tired. I was like, what's today? I don't know. Tuesday. Ranger Nation on Sundays, usually, unless it's Mondays, which is what it has been lately. And all the videos, all his Henry Danger, all the stuff that he normally puts out. And again, thank you, Lance, for giving me the opportunity to host once again. It's always an absolute honor and pleasure. And if you enjoyed me hosting, I host my own shows on Mondays and Thursdays. So if you like this style, I literally just made this a pipeline. I literally imported my own graphics. I did all the stuff, and I was like, if I can make these graphics now and just use those again on Thursday, and we're all good to go. But again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and we will catch y'all later. Bye bye.